Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and today I am really excited. We're gonna finally get to pruning my Japanese black pine forest. We grew that from seed here, so this will be. There's Carl the rooster. We grew the pine forest from seed here. They've been in the same pot for 2 years, and this will be its third growing season. So the trees are a little bit older than two. They have really taken off with some really nice muscular growth, and they're just really strong needles. I have a lot of pines from seed, and I live, right around the corner from a full pine forest. I have tons of huge white pines in my yard, but the Japanese black pine needles are they're something to see. They're aggressive and a little bit thicker and really sharp. But anyways, we're going to discuss how we're going to prune this bad boy up and the plans for the future, and that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, so as you can see, it is a beautiful day here at the ranch. We're actually seasonally you start to lose sight of the pond because the trees just grow in so amazing there, which surround me by green. Amazing. Hey Bruce is loving the new warm weather. Old boy, he's gonna be 12 this year. This is his retirement home here at the ranch. This dog has traveled to 36 different states, and he's probably had a dozen different addresses. So he has been everywhere, man. Oh, bro. Anyways, back to focusing. Here it is. I'm just going to leave it on the railing where it's at to print it up, because this is the way I stare at it every day. So I don't want to change my perception of what I've been planning. Hopefully this Rose of Sharon behind it that's budding out doesn't distract the eye too much, but I'm pretty sure y'all can see these. So let me set you up here on the tripod. So I'll do that in a minute. I'm thinking what I'm going to do, I like the height that it's at now, so I would almost like to maintain that height with this size pot and this many trees in the planting. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, cool. The infinity symbol. My lucky number, 33. Boom, boom. So that's cool. So we got 8 of them. So I was thinking we take out the most dominant branch on each tree entirely. Not branch, candle. These are called candles. If you watched anybody on here, I'm sure you've heard these called candles, and then they open up into these needles. So I'm thinking as removing the dominant candle on each apex of each tree, and then with the areas like here, like you see this one has some nice uniform branches all coming out and up at the same time. So I would probably, I saw these getting pinched off in a few videos. So you hold it with one hand like this, and then the other hand you pinch it off with your fingers. What I might do is just snip it with my snips though. Maybe I'll try both techniques. This pruning, I've been talking about this all winter with my broski Ian at Back Garden Bonsai. If you haven't checked out his videos, guy's got some great trees and great videos, and he knows a lot of stuff. So good thing I click not made for kids when it asks me when I'm uploading this, huh? Anyways, yeah, I've been talking about pruning this and going on and on back and forth with how I'm going to do it. So Laura's probably sick of hearing me talk about it too. This is her favorite planting as well. So big day today. So let me set up the tripod and we'll get started on it. All right, so I'll prune it with a nice natural background here, but then so you could see it really well following the video, I will put it down on the ground with the grill and the backdrop, and hopefully the black will make the little forest landscape pop, and you'll be able to envision where we're trying to take it for the future. Still a very young planting, obviously, seeing how this is its first pruning. All right, so here goes nothing. Oh yeah. Since I don't know any better, I'll leave a little bit of room for dye back here. Turning off that big dominant candle. Boom, there it is. That thing is, let's see, 6.5 inches. That's a marine thing. You learn to measure like exactly like your boot length. You know, you learn to measure how long that is. Your hand, your one arm from the center of your chest out, both arms out. This way you always have a ruler with you. A unit to measure. So you can figure out how long things are, how tall things are when you're in the field and you don't have equipment, you know. There's lots of little buds right at the base where these really dominant ones are, so I'm confident that those will come on out, and I won't have to sacrifice too much branching to take out the height. These really shot up last year, and it was so exciting because they grew a lot faster than the other pines that I have. I have Connecticut red pines, Scotch pines, and then Chinese red pines. And other than the Scotch pines growing out with longer needles than the red pines, they all kind of have gone slowly together. They're just starting to get branches this year, but they're maybe this tall compared to this tall. So that is one comparison between the black and the red pine. Wow, this one's in the back. It's coming from all the way down there. I wouldn't even have noticed that. Look at that one. Wow. That is, yeah, that one's about 7.5 inches, so that's the longest one yet. All right. I think that's it for the ones I want to take out entirely. And while I'm up here, maybe I want to... There's 3 still. 4. I think I'm going to still take, just because it's the tallest part of the tallest tree, I'm going to take all but 2 out here. And now I've got one at the back and one at the front. All right, let me just do a little tester with this pinching method. These might be too dominant of a needle to do it, and I don't want to mess the rest of it up. So I was planning like on this branch, so I'll grab, there's like a long green part that doesn't look like needles yet, and then we've got our needles, so I'm grabbing at the base of the needles. Oh, yeah, they do just pull right off. Okay. Well, let's get to it. I'm just letting it tell me where to do it, so anywhere there are where it starts to do needles, I put my fingers and I take anything above that out. Some really cool branching on these early on. I'm sure because they're mine and I grew them from seed, I'm a little more excited than anybody else would be, but if you follow my channel, you know that I have a lot of trees from seed, a lot of babies, so it's not always like, you know, most exciting. I haven't gotten to do a lot of things, especially on like the pines and evergreens, you know. Those grow so much slower. Alright, I think I'm going to take out the dominant one totally back there. I don't know how I missed that, unless I already took one out. Nope, that's the dominant one. Boom. That one's still about 6 inches. Cool. You know, some seem to be starting taller than others, but if their needles are coming out higher up or lower, that's dependent upon where I'm pruning it. So I'm letting the candles tell me. These are so small right here, they're basically the width of my finger. I'm going to leave these 3 down here. Well, I guess this would be the apex of this tree. That's a little guy. And you need that depth in your forest, so I'm going to leave him little. I'll take out that main one. Yeah, that's cool. Here we go, back to what I was doing. So before I let y'all go today, let me make sure you're still videoing. All right, cool. So before I let y'all go today, we'll take a walk around the yard and I'll show you some of the pines, trunks and stuff, and show you talk to you what my thought process is on this guy. Pines are funny. It's rare that they're a multi-trunk, but they do split early on in a lot of cases. So like these lower ones, I might not with all species let those hang on, but with these, I'm going to for that reason. And I'll show you that in a bit with the 60-foot white pines I have in my yard. It's kind of like part of a little privacy wall around the border of the area. All right. Yes, that's that. Boom. All right, let me do the black backdrop for you. All right, so got some moss taking and some marble chips. You see where I pulled off the candles. You see there's where it started to get textured and the needles started coming out. I placed my fingers and then I pulled off the rest. And to my surprise, it came off very easily. So there's a little bit of texture here in the landscape, probably be added to as this thing develops. Got some nice low branching and a nice variety of height, depth, different height of branching. Nothing's really interrupting each other. So I'm really happy with this bad boy. Now let's go take a look at the full-size version. All right, y'all. So this is the right side of the yard. You see all these white pines here. And there's white pines and Norwegian spruce going around there. So it kind of like curves you in. We've got some blue spruce and then a nice large maple. Sand driveway. Dirt driveway, whatever you want to call it. You can tell I've been having fun with my new mower, getting these lines in the lawn. But anyways, and then, in the property, we've got crabapple, another maple here. These are sugar maples. Oh yeah, look at those lines. Okay, anyways. Varieties of spruce and more pines going out that way, and there's another apple tree, a real green apple tree, so they're edible over there, and then a little birch cluster there. So let's take a look at some of these trunks. So these are about 60 feet tall. I know that because one fell and I measured it. Just in a windstorm, it just totally fell one night. We were lucky it blew away from the house and towards the woods. But you see, this thing comes up. Let's see, this is my height. So at 6 feet tall, it branches into 1, 2, 3, 4 in there. You see that one branches a bunch early on. Let's look at the candles on these. Pretty small, actually. Anyways, right here, this one splits into two. And it looks like it divides into two and divides into two. Wow, talk about natural perfection. And then we've got a sacrificial branch here thickening the trunk. Wow, this thing is bad. And it looks like a lot of the branches end up coming out parallel to the deck, where right now mine are reaching for the sky. So it'll be fun to see it develop. Okay, we got spruce here. And this will do, I'll just show you a couple more. Okay. So this is dominant trunk. That splits about 12 feet up. Comes back together a couple times. That's cool. And then this bad boy, look at the thickness on this sucker. So that about 12 feet up really starts to divide. Wow, that's beautiful. So your dominant branches seem to be pretty much vertical, following the trunk line, if not a part of the trunk dividing. And then you have a nice cascade of branches coming out parallel. Sweet. All right, so that's going to do it for today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai, y'all. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. If you did, go ahead, hit that like, subscribe button, and there's plenty more to come here from the ranch, y'all. Have a great day. Cheers.